If you are a teacher and you're upset about being in the position you're in, overworked, underpaid, undervalued, it's your fault. Okay, so this is going to ruffle some feathers, this episode is, and it's okay. And some of you need to hear this, some of you will just ignore this and just carry on with your own little way of just staying in the education system and complaining all your life. However, little caveat to that, if you're a teacher and you love where you are and your school is amazing, then I am so happy. That's all I wanted when I was a child. All I wanted to do was be a PE teacher in a town that I lived in, a great school. And unfortunately, well, I did achieve that, but it wasn't so great because I was being picked on by a deputy head. Aww. But if you are a teacher that has been teaching for over a year and nothing's changed and you're still upset and you're still disgruntled, then it's your fault. If you choose to stay in the education system, it's your fault. And there's many different avenues you can take. You can go to another school. You can go to another department. You can move country. You can quit teaching and do something completely different. You can do exam invigilation or exam paper marking or something like that, where you're still getting an impact on kids' lives to a degree. So obviously that was a big statement at the beginning, and it all depends on you and your situation where you're in right now. But then again, complaining and doing nothing about it is like an overweight person moaning about being fat but still eating at McDonald's and doing no exercise. It's like, shut up. No one cares if you're not doing something about it. However, if you are a teacher and you've been doing it for over 5 years and something's changed, whether it could be a new head or it's turned into an academy and it's being controlled by the MAT, and the CEO of this MAT is on something ridiculous like £300,000 a year and you're still just scraping by on 35k a year, you might want to change or rethink your life path. And I've tried so many different paths. I've left the education system, I've gone to different schools, I've gone to different parts of the world, I've gone to different parts of the country. I quit and supply taught. I set up an e-commerce company. I was actually a dating coach at one point. I actually worked sales in an office and I felt like such a trap bird. Nothing brought me alive like life coaching for kids. So if you are a teacher and you have been seriously considering leaving the education system, then you could potentially do the smart thing, which is actually use the skills you've already got to impact kids. That's only if you are fed up with the education system you're in right now and you want to impact kids. So you kind of fed up with teaching, but it hasn't kind of deterred you away from wanting to impact children. So like I said, life coaching kids has given me a new fuel for life. And it's amazing. Who'd have thought? Life coaching kids, seriously, they charge anywhere between £80 to £250 an hour, which is absolutely wild. I never thought this was a thing. Obviously, I left about almost 11 years ago now to do this. And I didn't start off with 80. I started off with 50, then 60, then 70, then 80 to 100, 160, 200. And it's been increasing ever since. And if you're a teacher there sitting there, well, who's going to pay for that? Well, yes. Okay, let me just stop you just there. I've been doing this for 11 years. I'm still going now. Parents are still willing to invest in their child's wellness. Okay, look at CAMS. What's the waiting list now? 3 to 5 years? Come on. And if you're sitting there thinking, well, actually, no, that's still a bit too much money. Oh, that's too much money and no one can afford that. First of all, you have a horrendously poor mindset. And I'm saying this, I'm talking to the old version of me. My mum and dad raised me like money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people always get richer. Business people are all... But that could be more further from the truth. These people that have actually got a positive relationship with money make more. Poor people save money. Rich people spend money. And I know that sounds a little bit crazy, but this is just one example right now. So if you were on 35k a year and you're saving a small amount each year, you're never going to get rich. You're never going to be happy. Well, you could be happy if you're in a great school and you've got an amazing family. That's great, okay? But if you want to do that extra, you're never going to save enough to actually retire early, okay? And what's the point in living the big chunk of your life just here? So this is when you're a kid and this is your most active and this is when you're old and no AP and dying and that's when you're supposed to live your life just there. Why not this section? This is what I'm living in right now. This is the section that I'm living in. What I'm talking about in regard to spending money is either you can spend it on assets, or this is what I did, you can invest it on yourself. You can spend money on your own training. And here's what's really good about that, because every single person on the planet has got a Christmas budget, a birthday budget, a holiday budget, but how much long do they last for? How much does the happiness last for in that? Not long. Whereas who here has actually got a personal development budget? Not many people. I didn't, by the way. I didn't. 10 years ago, I didn't have a personal development budget, and ever since I have invested, I have reaped the rewards tenfold. I've actually managed to get my business now to a 6-figure company, which I had no idea how I was going to achieve. I'm actually paying VAT now, which sucks massively. We can talk about that another time. But it's still an achievement, and I'm not going to use that as a way, oh, the government's rubbish. It just is what it is. And that's something I have to get used to, and it's just going to excel my growth even more because I'm going to use that as fuel. So if you are a teacher that's fed up where you are right now and you've been feeling this for a year, it's your fault. Everything is your fault. And that sounds a little bit horrible and mean of me saying this to you right now. And I don't mean to be mean, but you're the only one that's taking accountability for your life. Okay? You can't blame the government, you can't blame your mum, you can't blame your dad, you can't blame the education system. You're the one that's choosing to be where you are right now. And some of you need to hear this and some of you don't. Some of you are going to get pissed off with me and you're going to hate me and you're going to unsubscribe and you're not going to like me, and that's okay, that's cool. I only want people that are willing to take accountability for their lives and responsibility to get to that next level, whatever that looks like. It could just be teaching abroad, it can be doing a TEFL and doing something different, it can be quitting altogether and setting up your own company, tutoring company, life coaching business. It could be anything you choose it to be. How much life have you got left? How many years have you got left on this planet to achieve something you're actually proud of? And guess what? If it fails, good. There's another route, there's another way to get to that point just there. So you can either sit in self-poverty and have a poor mindset of I'm going to save, I'm going to save, I'm going to save. But if you spend that money, then it will come back to you tenfold because you'll learn that knowledge to apply it in the future and obviously make more money. For example, it could be, well, I really want to earn a little bit extra cash at the weekend. Cool. That's cool. Well done. You deserve it. What could you do? Well, I'll save a bit more money. That means I'll cut back on food and I'll cut back on holidays and I'll cut back on Valentine's Day roses and stuff like that. Or what you could do is you could actually spend the extra bit of money you've got at the end of the month to invest in yourself. It could be, well, I want to learn how to be a tutor. So how do I do the business bit? How do I do the social media bit? You pay somebody who's already been there and done that. That's very important. And you apply the learning. And then you start posting on social media and growing on social media, learning how to speak to somebody in their DMs, which is marketing, to get more clients. And hey, presto, guess what? If you are tutoring, you're probably getting anywhere between 30 to 40 pounds, maybe 45 at a push an hour. That's great. You've just made 45 pounds an hour, which you're definitely not getting that in school, by the way, are you? So well done to you. If it's life coaching kids, then you're looking at charging a minimum of £60 an hour all the way through £200 an hour to maybe £250 an hour, depending on where you are in the world. And that's that extra bit of bonus. So if you wanted to, you could do a little bit of maths just here. In fact, do the maths right now. What is, if you were to get 6 clients, so Kirsty, by the way, Kirsty's got 4 clients. She's got 2 conversations with other potential clients moving forward. I think she charges £75 an hour. 75 times by 6 equals that. Times that by 4 equals that. She's working 6 hours a week to get that a month. That's wild. Isn't that wild? It's pretty cool, right? So bit of a video today. If you want something you've never had, you have to do things you've never done. Break out of the poor mindset, get into the rich mindset. You deserve it. Businessmen and women are not, they're very cool, hardworking people, and they've got some knowledge. Money doesn't go to money. Money technically does grow on trees. There's an abundance of money, so get out of that limited mindset. And if you are truly upset, take responsibility for your own life. Stop blaming other people and take action. I'm not saying this to ruffle any feathers. If your feathers are ruffled, they belong to you and you're in control of your own mind. So it's cool. Do something different with your life if you're unhappy. That's my message today. That's what I did 11 years ago. If you are interested in wanting to know more about literally how to life coach kids, we've got a £300 reduction on the store. So you can have a little look on there, look on the whole course and see how it all works. If you want a conversation with myself, book one with the link that's below and I'm more than happy to help you one-on-one. And we're actually giving away from now until summer starts free Zoom consultation calls for people that are interested in life coaching kids. In the meantime, remember, if you are a teacher, you're the backbone of our society. Keep rocking, keep rolling. Don't let any toxic leadership take control and dictate your life. You take control of your own life. Have a cool day. Peace out.